On to what I consider the creme de la creme, Champion Edition Eagle. Thank you so much. This one's a 170, maybe a little bit lighter than I'm used to, but since it's brand new, this will have a good amount of fade on it. It won't have a ton of glide, but it's gonna fade. So if I throw this with a touch of hyzer, I'm expecting it to pop up almost to flat, maybe a touch of turnover, especially with this wind. The wind is gonna try to fight it down, but the fade is gonna be a little stronger than that previous 10 time.
What is up, disc golfers? Today on Iceberg TV, I have a blast from the past, a special treat disc review for you. I was able to acquire 3 Champion Edition Eagles. These are super old school, the ultra long straight driver, classic Champion Eagle stamp. A lot of people know that I bag a Champion Edition T-Bird that I really love, and I'm hoping that one of these is going to be a good addition to my bag, because I love the style points of bagging a throwback disc. And I think these old fairway drivers still have a lot of life in them, and they still can have a lot of value in your game. I've thrown them a little bit to test them out before I made this video, so I can give you a good review as to what they actually fly like. All 3 of these are the Eagle L mold, and I've even named this one Dylan's Flippy Boy, because this is the most understable. It's got a bunch of chunks out of it on the rim, and I really love the way this old plastic feels. It's very grippy, it's very gummy. It's somewhere between plastic and beeswax is the way that it feels. And it's a really unique feel that you won't get out of any other disc. I'm gonna show you how these guys fly. They're so good. They all fly a little bit different. The Flippy Boy, the most beat up one, is the most understable. And then there's 174 gram, which is a little bit more stable than this one, but still not overstable. And then the most stable one, it can handle the most power, is the 173 gram. Again, all Eagle L's. They developed the Eagle L mold to make it easier to throw, because the Eagle X mold was a lot more overstable and not as beginner friendly. So they came out with the Eagle L mold so they could have something more glidey and out of the box straight, and that's what these are. And I just love old flippy fairway drivers. They're just so cool. So we're gonna have a couple of throws here. I'm just gonna throw them all backhand. I'll go grab them, and then I'll throw them forehand for you, and then give my closing thoughts as to, will one of these make my bag? So we're gonna toss them out into the open field here, and yeah, you guys can see what a old school Champion Edition Eagle flies like. Threw that one a little bit high, first throw of the day. Just holds pretty straight, but you can see it still has some life in it. It definitely faded quite a bit at the end. I'm gonna throw this out a little bit more flat. That one held a nice, good, long turn, but then still faded at the end. And that's what I really like about these old fairway drivers, is they're really shapeable, and you can really work them in different directions. If you put them on hyzer, they hyzer. If you put them flat, they turn a bit. If you put it on super anhyzer, it'll just stay turned over the whole way. We do one more flat one. Just old beat up fairway drivers, just go laser beam straight. And until you felt a Champion Edition disc, like, there's a reason Barsby and Big Germ and a lot of those guys still bag Champion Edition plastic. It's fabled to be the nicest disc golf plastic ever created. So I've been really fortunate to get my hands on them. I'm gonna run over, grab them, bring them back. We'll do some forehands. Okay guys, we are back. I really love the flight of these things forehand as well, so I'm gonna throw a few nice little, they're really good for like hyzer flips. I call these Big Germ Jeremy Coling forehands, because he really likes little flippier discs to get him to hyzer flip and go to the left a bit.
The most common way is the hyzer flip to flat. For me, that's always been my trusty shot in the woods to keep my discs down the middle of the fairway. What I like to do is I like to take a disc that's a little bit more understable than what people traditionally throw for forehands, and I like to put it with a little bit of hyzer, trust it down the middle, and have the disc stand up and the disc do all the work. That way I'm not throwing it harder than I need to. I'm relying on the stability of the disc to flip up down the middle and glide down the middle of the fairway.
And yeah, I think these discs fit that sort of description perfectly. That big germ, Greg Barsby type hyzer flip forehand with something a little bit flippier, but something that's going to push straight. So I'm going to start with the most flippy and go to the most stable. That one being the most understable will carry more to the left than these ones will. Put it out on hyzer, it'll just go left. Doesn't really like to burn over into a roller, just sort of carries left, but goes very, very straight. And that's a really good shot to have, especially in the woods. That one, again, pushes really, really straight, stays basically straight throughout the whole flight, and then has a little bit of finish left in the tank, which is really nice. For when you may not trust the flippy one, you've got the one that's a little bit more stable. And being able to forehand these shows how much torque resistance they have. And I really love the fact that the disc is torque resistant and glidey. And that's not something you see in a lot of fairway drivers, so it's something you can torque on, especially on hyzer, and it's not going to turn over into a roller. It's just going to kind of figure out a way to straighten up, carry its distance, and then finish a little bit at the end. We're going to throw, that was the most stable one, this is the middle one, so we're just going to throw it in that same hyzer, let it flip up, carry straight, and it may or may not finish a little bit at the end. I don't know about you guys, but the straight shot, in my opinion, is the hardest shot in disc golf. And I can consistently recreate a straight shot with a disc like that, which is the shot I love my Champion Edition T-Bird for. I flick it out on hyzer and I give it a little bit or a little less snap depending on how much I actually want it to finish to the left. My Champion Edition T-Bird is very torque resistant. I can throw it very hard as long as it's on hyzer. The harder I throw it is just the more it's gonna drift to the left. Or if I wanna throw it really hard with a lot of hyzer, it'll just push straight. So these guys complement that very well, and I'll probably bag the middle Champion Edition Eagle. But I think it's a unique opportunity to be able to throw some of these discs and for you guys to see these discs actually being used for what they're supposed to be used for. A lot of collectors keep them in storage and they don't throw them, and I think these being some of the greatest discs ever produced, a lot of pros will unanimously agree, especially Innova pros, that Champion Edition plastic is unlike any other plastic, and I couldn't agree with that anymore. It's a unique opportunity to be able to throw them and to show you guys how they actually carry through the air and how useful they can still be in your bag today. I would love to hear in the comments section down below, do you own any Champion Edition plastic? Have you ever heard of it? Are you interested in throwing it now that you've seen what it does for me? I know I'm looking forward to getting my hands on a Leopard, a Valkyrie, and all of the other Champion Edition molds that are out there. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comments section down below. You're watching Iceberg TV, and take care.